drives it into right center field. Hit a ton. This baby is way back. Out of here.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel. And today we're talking San Francisco Giants. And I got three things to talk about. Number one, Billy Hamilton has been signed to a minor league contract. Number two, Bruce Bochy is still going to be part of the team as a special advisor in 2020. And number three, at the Fanfest yesterday, Buster Posey and some of the veterans had some things to say. And I thought that I'll touch on that because I liked some of the things that they had to say. And some of the things they had to say, I don't know. But anyway, we'll get to that. And we'll do it now. Billy Hamilton, first off, has been signed to a minor league deal. I don't have too much to say about it. I will say that a couple years ago, there were some trade talks when he was with the Reds. Maybe even 3 years ago. It's been a while now, but I wanted Billy Hamilton at that time. I said, Giants need to get this guy because I thought he had great speed. He was stealing 56, 57 bases every year, and the guy was just electric out there defensively. Couldn't hit that great, but he was still around 250 at that time. I mean, he was okay. He only hit, 4 or 5 home runs a year, but he stayed healthy, and he was really, really exciting to watch out there. And I thought it would be a nice addition to a team that already had a lot of good players. At that time, Brandon Belt was still hopefully getting better. At that time, Buster Posey was still pretty good. Since then, though, some of these veterans, now they're 3 years older, 3 or 4 years even older, and not contributing as much. And we're at a point now where we realize how offensively challenged the Giants are. And we need offense. We need guys who can hit. And lastly, Billy Hamilton's career has gone down. He's not hitting as well. He's coming off of a 2019 where he hit 218 with 0 home runs. And the 56, 57 bases he used to steal was down to 22 bases. He had 316 at-bats and was only able to hit 218. Now, he might have a bounce back year. He might show up at spring training and look great and everything, but we do know one thing. There's a more than a large enough sample size in his career to know he can't hit that well. He's not a great hitter. He's not going to bring you power. He's not going to bring you a great batting average. He's not even going to bring you a great on-base percentage when this is a guy who's supposed to get on base and use that speed. So, I guess I don't have a problem with it as a minor league contract bringing him to spring training. Maybe he's willing to go to AAA. I doubt it. But, other than that, I don't really love the signing at this point. Even though if this had happened 3 years ago, I'd have been through the moon if they would have traded for him, depending on who they sent to the Reds. But if they would have got him from the Reds at that time, I'd have been thrilled. But now, at this point, we got Steven Duggar. Steven Duggar's pretty much the same player, except maybe not quite as quick on the base pass. No, he's not going to steal as many bases at all, but he's going to hit you a lot better. He's got a lot more power. Steven Duggar's also left-handed, and he's also quite a bit younger. I'd rather see Steven Duggar out there, despite the fact that Steven Duggar hasn't really shown much at the big league level yet. A few in stretches in 2018. Last year he had a rough year. But you know what? I'm just saying he's going to hit better than Billy Hamilton, and that's what we need. We need freaking offense right now, and he is pretty quick. He can learn to steal bases a little better and things like that if that's what the Giants are into. I don't know if they're big on stolen bases right now. I do think we should have more stolen bases. Giants are pretty bad at the running game, so maybe that's part of the reason they signed him. Hey, spring training, invite, minor league deal. I don't have an issue with that, but I'm just saying I'm not as excited as I would have been 2 or 3 years ago. I'm not so sure that he's part of the Giants' big plans when you can't hit higher than 218. Are you kidding me? Come on now. Second piece of news is Bruce Bochy, who has been involved with the Giants, and I assumed he was going to play some kind of role with the Giants. He's been assigned the position of special advisor to Zaidi or whatever. You know what? I don't know what that all entails. You give it titles. These titles go out all the time. Special advisor. Giants got so many special advisors, I don't even know. I don't even know if Barry Bonds and Will Clark and JT Snow are special advisors or what's going on, because there's so many special advisors, but you never see them. You don't know what kind of impact they're making, and that's probably what's going to happen here. But it is nice to know that Bruce Bochy is still a Giant. He's still in the Giants organization. He's going to be at spring training. He'll be hopefully at the ballpark throughout the season. We'll see him from time to time, hopefully. But anyway, Bruce Bochy, not in uniform, but at least he'll be there. So Bruce Bochy is going to be a special advisor. The only thing that's good about it is Bruce Bochy is still with the Giants, and that's good because this guy's a very smart baseball guy, and hopefully they will give him credit and listen to the things he has to say because he knows what the freak he's talking about. And the last thing to touch on is the Fanfest that went on yesterday. Some interviews with Brandon Belt, as you can see, taking part in a news conference yesterday as part of the Fanfest. But what interested me is this quote from Buster Posey. He said, "I feel pressure because I wasn't happy with the way I played last year. As much as anything, I want to prove to myself I can get back to producing offensively." You sometimes have this nagging thought. Can you do that again? To me, this is pressure and the challenge of getting back to feeling I am producing at that level. But to me, the most important thing that Buster Posey said when he was talking about the new coaches and everything, and actually said, and whether it's true or not in his mind, I don't know, but he said, I need to be willing to listen to any advice coaches have. I need to be willing to make changes if needed. And he said, quote, you can't keep doing the same thing you're doing and expect to get different results. We're all going to have to be willing to make some changes. Obviously, Posey was still tearing it up like he was in 2012. I wouldn't like that quote. I'd say, no, don't change nothing. Screw these coaches. Do what you do, man. But the problem is he hasn't been hitting that way. I know he had hip surgery, but he came off it last year, never really was the same, and hopefully he gets back to the same. But it's not just Posey. Hopefully they all have that attitude. Crawford's numbers are going down. He never was the greatest hitter, but he used to be solid. I mean, he had a 7-hit game, or was it 8? I don't remember, but he broke some kind of record or tied a record and had like 7 hits in one game, which is insane. Crawford can hit. Crawford has pop. He has hit 20 home runs in a season. Crawford can hit. I don't know what's going on, though. He's losing it. He's not hitting as well. Belt never came around like I wanted. I thought that Brandon Belt would turn into a 320, 330 hitter with 26, 27 bombs. It never really materialized. He always stayed the same. Yes, he gets on base, and he hits you 17, 18 home runs, and it just never changed. And at this point, it's not changing. But have the best season you possibly can. Take advice from these coaches because they do know what they're talking about, even though they might be 16 years old. But apparently they know something. So when Justin Bieber says that you got to do this and that with your swing, you do what Justin Bieber says to do. It's hard for me because it's a big transition with all these young coaches coming in. A lot of coaches that don't have big league experience, even some coaches that don't have any baseball experience like Alyssa Nacken. And that rubs a lot of people the wrong way, understandably. But at the end of the day, all that I really care about is what is out on that field and how they produce. And whatever results are on that field, that's how I'm going to judge these new decisions. And if the Giants go and lose 107 games and they continue to just be terrible and in last place, well, then I'm going to say, hey, whatever y'all do is not working. I'm not going to criticize it now. I'm going to give it a chance. But if in 2-3 years, especially when our prospects coming up, we continue to suck, can't hit, what y'all doing is not working. I'm not going to blame it on any one particular coach or anything. I'm going to say your whole system, this whole thing is not working. Giants fans got pretty high standards. We just won 3 World Series. Don't mind having some down years while we get ready, doing a rebuild, and I'm willing to wait. But you know what? We're not going to become the Pittsburgh Pirates, all due respect to them. We're not going to be just sorry for 25 years. It ain't happening. So let's get it together. Hopefully everything works out, and the San Francisco Giants will come out and have a decent year and not lose 100-plus games. And then in 2-3 years down the road, we'll have a really good product out there when all these prospects are ready, and we'll actually have a winning team. That's what I hope goes down in San Francisco with the Giants. So what do you guys think about the new signing of Billy Hamilton on a minor league deal? What do you think about Bruce Bochy coming back? And what do you think about the comments from Buster Posey? And also, some of the other guys made some comments, including Crawford, saying, I still think the veterans have something to offer. Well, of course you do, because you're a veteran. You want to play. I mean, makes sense you would say that. Doesn't mean we're going to believe that. Show us. Go out there and hit. Let's go, guys. Do it! Thank you so much for joining me today on this quick video. I really do appreciate it. Go ahead and check the links out in the description if you don't mind. Follow me on Twitter, trying to build my Twitter following. And go ahead and check out my Patreon as well. That's the best way to support the channel. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a fantastic day. We'll talk to you later. See ya!
When the Giants come to town, it's bye-bye, baby. Every time the chips are down, it's bye-bye, baby. History's in the making.